Christos Tzolis is a new player for Arsenal. He has joined Arsenal today. Obviously, it's signed, sealed, and delivered. He's going to be the replacement for Premier League winner Leandro Trossard, who's joined Besiktas. And now we'll get into it, man. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. And we will get into it. Of course, again, Christos Tzolis has joined Arsenal. That's him there with Mikel Arteta and Andre Berta. And yeah, that is the headline. Christos Tzolis has signed for Arsenal. We are delighted to announce the signing of Christos Tzolis on a long-term contract. The 24-year-old forward joins us from Club Brugge, where he made 108 appearances in all competitions, scoring 43 goals and assisting 45 times for the Belgium side. Now, listen, I've not watched him play. I've seen obviously clips and highlights on YouTube, but what I will say that is a good sign that he's someone that has already provided goals and assists for his club. Now, I get it, it's the Belgian league, not the strongest league in the world by any means. However, what I will say is that this is a very key thing in terms of what Arsenal have been lacking in the last couple of seasons. Players in that final third area that can provide goals and assists on a regular basis. So if you can somehow even translate that, even a half of that, to what he can do in the Premier League, then obviously, again, it will help us dearly going into the Premier League season, trying to retain the Premier League title. So that is good news, what I will say. But again, I've not watched him play, so I'm not going to sit here and say he's amazing, is this and that, because I actually haven't watched him play live in the flesh. I know he played against us in the Champions League, but again, you're more focused on your own team at Arsenal compared to watching other opposition players. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say he's the pinnacle, the oracle. But what I will say is that looking at his statistics, they were very good stats there. Well, we'll see if that can translate, man. But yeah, just obviously talking about his career. Obviously, he's a Greek international. Started his playing days in Greece before moving to the Premier League in 2021, I believe, playing for Norwich City, making his debut in the Carabao Cup, getting 2 goals and 2 assists in that game where they won 6-0 against Bournemouth in 2021. Then he had some loan spells in Germany and at the Netherlands as well, before joining Club Brugge on a permanent basis, obviously in Belgium, where he was a key member of the side over the next 2 seasons. Obviously, normally he is a left winger. Tzolis very quickly became an influential figure in the club's domestic and European campaigns, lifting the Belgian Cup as well as being named as the Belgian Pro League Player of the Season. So yeah, obviously he was the best player of that league that season. This was an award obviously he picked up last season before honouring back-to-back trophy wins, which was the first time that saw obviously Club Brugge lift their league title in that campaign. On the international stage, Christos Tzolis has represented Greece at multiple youth levels before making his senior national team debut in October 2020. Since then, he has made 34 appearances for his country. Sporting director Andre Berta said, "We are delighted to have completed the obviously signing of Tzolis. Obviously, he is a extremely versatile attacking player who normally operates on the left, but is comfortable across the front line. He's an excellent finisher with both feet, thrives in tight spaces, and possesses incredible technical ability." Now, with the clips I did see a lot of chances where he does shoot on his right foot, cuts onto his left foot. So there was a lot of variety in his goals in terms of the finishing outside the box, inside the box. But again, you've got to take into account the obviously quality of our position. Can that translate to harder obviously teams in the Premier League and in the Champions League? Yet to obviously remains to be seen. But again, like I said, at least you can see he's prolific, even if it is in a kind of lower league or a lesser division. At least he's prolific there. So we're not getting someone who doesn't even score that many goals in his own league. Do you know what I'm saying? So at least there's something to kind of work off of. He's 24 years of age. So again, in that kind of stage where he wants to kind of kick on as well. And again, we see all the time, like players come from like smaller divisions, lower divisions, and are instant success. But obviously, it takes a team to be brave enough to take a chance on them and hope they can obviously transition into being a better player. We've seen it with the likes of obviously Riyad Mahrez or N'Golo Kante coming from Ligue 2 and going on to obviously become Premier League winners with the likes of Leicester, Manchester City, Chelsea, respectively. So yeah, it is an opportunity for a player to kind of rise and obviously take the opportunity by the scruff of the neck and really be a top player. But again, it remains to be seen if he can do that. Hopefully he can for Arsenal's sake for sure. It says obviously Tzolis has produced outstanding numbers in terms of goals and assists over the last 3 seasons, and he's a player who will raise the technical level of our squad while bringing positive energy, enthusiasm, and a strong mentality to our team. We are confident Christos will make a significant contribution to our club, and we hope our supporters will enjoy watching him play in the Arsenal shirt. We look forward to sharing this exciting new chapter together. Obviously, Tzolis will wear the number 17, obviously made famous by Alexis Sanchez, and has already joined up with his new teammates ahead of pre-season. So at least that's a good thing. We've actually got an attacking player through the door, even though again it's replacing arguably probably our best attacker last season in Leandro Trossard, who's gone to be shit task. But at least we've got someone in through the door. We need to obviously start making moves now. It's been a kind of a slow start. Obviously, the World Cup's been happening. But yeah, we need to start getting some players in now for sure, because it's only less than a month now until the start of the Premier League season, man. And you got pre-season, you got all of this stuff, players coming back from the World Cup. We know Saliba's going to be out for 3 to 4 months as well, which is devastating news too. So yeah, we need to kind of make a move on in terms of from an Arsenal perspective, man, for sure. If we're going to kind of retain our Premier League title. But yeah, going on to obviously what Christos had to say. He says, I'm always hungry to score goals. After a stellar season with Club Brugge in Belgium, obviously our new signing says he's arrived to score goals in North London, which is obviously a good thing to hear. Again, the Greek international was voted Player of the Year in Greece after an incredible campaign where he scored 22 goals and added 29 assists that helped Club Brugge regain the Belgium League title. Like I said, I will caveat again, it is the Belgium League. But again, impressive numbers, man. Like 29 assists, 22 goals. That is very prolific. So no matter what kind of league you're in, again, we see how we can kind of translate that into the Premier League. Again, you've seen Victor Gyökeres kind of struggle to kind of translate that 50 goals into the Premier League. Ended up getting, I think it was 14 in the end. Again, hopefully he can improve himself again next season, but it just shows you how difficult it is to kind of transition from a lesser league like a Portuguese league or a Belgian league to like the Premier League. So yeah, not always guarantee it's going to happen straight away as well, but hopefully he can add to the squad. And like I said, if he can even just half that, because again, I'm looking at the likes of Martinelli, he got 1 Premier League goal. If this guy can do that, again, I know that's not the standard, but if he can at least provide more goals and assists than Martinelli did in last season, in the season we won the league, that would always obviously be an improvement. Even Trossard had a very good season in terms of his overall performances, but you look at his goals, I think he only got like 6 in the league himself. So these are not massive numbers for kind of starting left wingers, especially playing for Arsenal, who are trying to win the Premier League. So for me, if he can try and get somewhere near that double figure mark, I don't know how many games he's going to play. I'm hoping we actually sign a marquee signing, and this is kind of the backup as well. So there's not so much pressure on him to come in and try and obviously hit the ground running. Again, you can kind of integrate him into the starting lineup in terms of him playing other kind of competitions as well. If we can try and do that, then I feel like for me, potentially, it could be a really good signing in terms of the value for money. We know attackers are going for mad money this obviously summer as well. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, man. But yeah, like I said, again, he helped obviously Club Brugge regain the Belgium League title. It was his 3rd season in a row where he scored 20 plus goals. So yeah, he's prolific in terms of being able to score goals on a consistent basis, which is good. But that also might actually mean that he was just too good for that league as well. Maybe he was just a better player in that league, and when he comes to a harder league, it might kind of even itself out a bit as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully it's not. Hopefully he can come in and produce similar numbers. He says now he wants to build on those incredible numbers in the Premier League. Speaking after signing for us, he said the move was still sinking in. I still need time to think and realize it's an amazing, absolutely amazing to sign for such a big club, the Champions of England. I'm proud to be a part of this team for the next season. Obviously, he's talking about his agent calling him. He was obviously gassed about it. Had a conversation with Mikel Arteta, and obviously he was already positive. He said, although he's a versatile winger, he's played mainly on the left wing in Belgium. Obviously, he racked up incredible numbers. 10 assists in the last 10 games. He also scored 3 times and had 5 assists during the Champions League campaign. So at least, again, in Europe, he can actually provide some goals and assists in those kind of competitions against obviously harder opposition as well. I know Club Brugge had, I think, Barcelona, they played us as well. So yeah, at least, again, he's doing it against a better opposition than obviously the teams in Belgium. He says, I'm a direct player. I'll go for goals and assists. He said, that's my point of view as an attacker, as a winger. I'm always hungry to score and obviously give the final pass to my teammates. And I can say I work hard for the team. Also in the defensive part, Tzolis is making a return to the Premier League in joining us, having played for obviously Norwich back in the 2021-2022 season as well. So yeah, man, he says obviously he knows what to expect. That's probably the good thing as well, even that it was only one season. He actually knows the kind of quality and what he needs to be, obviously the level he needs to be at to kind of play in the league before, because obviously he's played the one season with Norwich, even though, again, it was for a team that I think ended up getting relegated that season as well. So, yeah, he knows obviously how difficult it is. He says, of course, it's going to be different if you play for Norwich or Arsenal. I think you have more of the ball as a player for Arsenal, so we attack more than the other teams. It's very physical, the league, and the quality is very high, so I'm prepared for that. Also, in the Champions League, it's quite high, so I believe every game is like the Champions League game here in the Premier League. Also, Tzolis played 13 times in the Champions League last term, including all 90 minutes in Brugge's home game against us in the league phase. He also played and assisted in the 3-3 draw against Barcelona, played away to Bayern Munich and scored in the knockout stages against Atletico Madrid. Oh, okay. There you go. But it was Mikel Arteta's side that left the biggest impression. Obviously, he says he loves playing football. I watched so many games last season. It was 3-0 in our own stadium. I can say it was the most difficult team we to attack, and I've obviously played against as well. That was the game where Madueke scored that banger and scored another goal, and then Martinelli scored a really good goal as well outside the box where we beat him 3-0. So yeah, he's looking forward to being a part of the rest of our squad. And again, he's joined up for preseason already, man. So we should see a decent look of him in preseason to see how he kind of plays and where he's going to be played as well. People say obviously he's definitely going to be on the left, but you never know. Martinelli's obviously still here at this moment in time. We've not signed out like a marquee left forward either. So and again, Saka is not going to be there and Madueke's not going to be there. So I feel like he's going to probably play on the right in probably preseason, you know, unless it's an Ethan there or maybe Mats gets a nod there. So I think there's going to be a lot of versatility around that kind of position, man. But overall, I feel like listen, it's a good signing, man, in terms of we need to make sure we get all the signings as well. If this is the only signing, it's going to feel obviously very underwhelming. But if this is part of a plan to kind of revamp the attack where we get 2, 3, 4 attackers in, then I'm all for it, man. I feel like, again, even though Trossard was fantastic, I feel like it was time for him to kind of be moved on just in terms of we just needed some kind of fresh kind of ideas, fresh kind of personnel, fresh kind of combinations in that kind of front kind of line. I know we bought 3 attacking players last year with Gyökeres, Eze and Madueke, but for me, we need at least a new 3. Just so I think Martinelli needs to be moved on, and we get another obviously marquee left winger, and then potentially another striker with Jesus going. And I feel like you kind of rotate between those like 3 that we got this season and 3 that we got last season. Because even though, again, Eze and Gyökeres and Madueke came in, I still think that we could probably get better out of all of them, to be honest with you. Because I just don't think our attacking play was as of the level that maybe we're all kind of expecting, even though we still won the league, which is kind of a positive and a negative. The fact that obviously we need to get more out of these players, but the fact that we still won the league, even though I think these players can score more and be better going forward, I think is something that we can work towards. So yeah, man, for me, I'll take it. Like I said, 35 million euros or 35 million pounds, 40 million euros, I think. So it's not breaking the bank. And again, I think it's key that we get all the signings over the line, man. I need to see us try and go and get Bruno Guimaraes. I think that's the best midfielder on the market, complements our team very well. But again, if you don't pay the money, the likes of Chelsea, you've already seen it with Morgan Rogers. They will pay the money and they will get the player, and you're gonna be left behind. So I think also need to make a valid decision if they actually really want to strengthen the team this season, or they're happy just to walk away with all these players. Because eventually you're gonna have to overpay for someone because the market isn't particularly that great this summer. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what we do, man. But overall, it is what it is. You guys in the comments, let me know what you think. If you think it's going to be a good signing and whatnot. And for more content, please like, share, subscribe, and follow T Chanzo Sports, man. But I'll be back soon, man, people. Peace and love, everyone, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Laters.